What's up, everybody? Lone Wolf coming to you with another video, and all I gotta say right now, man, flea markets are awesome. They're so underrated. So yesterday I went to my local flea market with my friends, and I gotta say, man, I found a lot of great deals for things that I got. It's pretty small, but it's something at least. I got 2 games, and I would say 3 Spider-Man items, but I'll talk about those in a bit. I'm not going to make this video long, but I just kind of want to show you an example why I love flea markets. When I made my how to get into collecting, how to do game collecting in 2022 video, I mentioned that flea markets at times is definitely your best place to get good deals for retro games. It really is. Personally, for me, there's a lot of good deals you can find on flea markets. I understand sometimes there's going to be people that'll give you good prices for games, and sometimes there's idiots out there who overprice the fuck out of games. But yesterday, man, when I went to my flea market, I gotta be real, I found some of the best deals for games. Not just talking about the games I got, but a couple other games. I'm not gonna mention them all, but I just know that when I went, there was a lot of games for pretty good prices, man. You could pick up as much as games you want under from 15, 20 to $30, which is a pretty good deal. So of course, first game I got is, well, Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. Now of course you think I paid $14 for this, when in reality I actually paid the price I paid for this game was actually $10. And usually the Wii version of Twilight Princess, I think on Amazon, the last time I checked, long time ago, I think the last time I saw that on Amazon, I think the Wii version was like around maybe to 44, 45. I know that the GameCube version back then, I don't know about now, the GameCube version went from like 60 to 70 or something from what I remember, but I picked this up for $10. $10. And the box itself is actually in pretty good condition. Even the game itself too. It didn't include the instruction manual, unfortunately, but it does have like the Nintendo Power subscription that you see here. And there's the game itself. The game is in pretty good condition. I guess I'll show the disc in case you guys want to see, so you guys know like if the disc is in good condition, which I know it is because I tested it. It's got a little bit of minor scratches. If you're wondering, that's just my cat making noises. Well, my little brother's cat. But yeah, there's a little bit of like minor, like it's not a big deal because regardless the game does work fine, but I did test this on my Wii U and it works really, really good. So yeah. And yeah, the game is in pretty good condition. And yeah, $10. That's right, $10, guys. I picked this up. Usually if you go to a retro game store, it depends which one, not saying all retro game stores, but depends which one. Sometimes there'd be some idiot that would be selling this for like a lot, but in my flea market I got this for $10 fucking dollars. That is fucking crazy. And this is Zelda, for God's sakes. A game like this may be a little bit more from a lot of people from what they would see, but for me, I just walked in there, asked how much it was. The guy was willing enough to charge me just $10 for this game. I couldn't have been more happier. The next game I got, the label's kind of fucked up, but the game works fine. I did clean this when I got home, and that is Mario Tennis for the N64, which is really great game, really great multiplayer game for the N64. And I mean, I love all the Mario Tennis games. This wasn't the one that started it all. It was the one on the Virtual Boy, but this game is a classic, And I got this for $15, even though, I mean, I didn't care if the back label was damaged. I didn't care about that. The front label could have been better, but hey, the game works fine. So, and I got it for $15, so I can't complain about that. Now, next things I got, they're not gaming. but they're related to Spider-Man. So, if you watch my channel for the longest, or if you're new to my channel, I'm actually doing another collection that is up and coming. It's not anywhere as big as my video game collection right now, but I know it will be. And that is, I'm actually starting to collect Spider-Man comic books. I've been a huge Spider-Man fan since growing up. Spider-Man is my favorite superhero of all of, not just Marvel, but all of comic books. If there's only one superhero I'm dedicated to like owning every single comic book ever made, it's Spider-Man. Because for me, he's the only superhero, not the only one, but I mean there's other superheroes, but for me he's the one superhero that makes me love and appreciate comic books to this very day. Like he is my favorite superhero. But I'll get to the collection. So why did I start collecting Spider-Man comic books? I kind of got the idea of like when I was one day just marathoning all the Spider-Man films. I said to myself, hey man, wouldn't it be cool if like, because my room kind of feels like a Nintendo museum in some sort of way, and I would like to actually make my own Spider-Man museum one day. And I wanted to start collecting Spider-Man. So for me, it's basically like what made me want to collect Spider-Man was just because it's definitely a character that that I'm passionate about, and I've always enjoyed every single Spider-Man comics growing up and everything Spider-Man related. I'm a huge Spider-Man fan, so the fact that I got inspired to do a Spider-Man collection is just really, really awesome. And I couldn't be more happier, man. I don't have a lot of comics. I only currently have 2, but now I have 4 because I added 2 more to the collection. So I'm just really excited to start collecting Spider-Man comic books. So hopefully in the future I can talk about my Spider-Man collection more, how it grows. If you guys want to see when I get more comics, when I get more Spider-Man stuff, would you guys want to see like me cover Spider-Man stuff on the channel? Let me know, because I would like to cover some Spider-Man stuff in the near future. That'd be awesome, because I'm a huge Spider-Man nerd. So I like to talk about some Spider-Man comics, movies, games, whatever. So yeah, my Spider-Man collection consists of not just Spider-Man comics, but it also consists of collecting movies, games, cartoons, figurines, collectibles, anything that appeals to me on having an awesome collection of Spider-Man. And so yeah, so let's talk about the comics I got. So here I have issue number 5, and this one I'm pretty sure if you're a huge comic book nerd like myself, you probably can recognize the art from this comic. If that name sounds familiar, then you probably already guessed it, and the art style too. Yep, this is from when Todd McFarlane was actually drawing Spider-Man back then. If that name doesn't ring a bell, that's the same dude that actually created Venom and created Spawn. And back in the 90s, back in the late 80s and early 90s, he was the head writer for Spider-Man, and I've always been a fan of Todd's style of drawing, especially when he was drawing Spider-Man. Like, his art is so freaking amazing that just the fact that I have a Todd McFarlane Spider-Man era comic book in my hand is awesome. This has to be my favorite find from the flea market, and yeah, it was $12. And then the next one I have is issue 383 from the Amazing Spider-Man lineup. And yeah, and I paid this for $10. So originally I was going to pay around like $22 for both of these comics, but the guy who was selling them, he was so cool. And he was just like, you know what, man, because you're going to buy a bundle of these, I'll save for third of the price. He only charged me $17. $17 for these comics. I was like, I'll take him. And the last thing I got was this Funko Pop. Now, usually I'm not really into collecting Funko Pops as I used to be anymore, but I saw this because this rung my head. Like, this rung my bell. I was like, yo, this looks awesome. So this Funko Pop, obviously, this is part of the Marvel 80 Years lineup. But what's special about this one? Well, if you look at the back, this is actually based off of the original Spider-Man design that was drawn by Steve Ditko. This was obviously inspired by the original Amazing Fantasy issue number 15, which debuted back in 1962. And obviously, if you know, Amazing Fantasy issue 15 is the original comic book where Spider-Man first made his appearance. And this Funko Pop is a resemblance of that art style. If you can't tell from the camera, but you can tell from like the little blue spandex pants he's got. You can tell it's like there's one side that's blue, and I think the other is like dark blue. Like the one is like light blue, and the other is dark. And you can tell from the art. And he's got the little web gliders that he had in the original comics. And yeah, man. And God bless both Stan Lee and Steve Ditko for this, man, because, you know, man, just they're both the reason why I got into comics in the first place. So God bless both those guys. But yeah, I started nerding when I saw this, and I told my friend, I need to get this. I don't care how much it is, and I paid $20. So that was pretty cool. All right, so that's everything I got in the flea market, and I hope maybe this reconsiders your thoughts on flea markets. If you ever go to your local flea market, don't hesitate on going, especially if you want to, you know, get more games in your collection. You may find great deals on games. I know in my local flea market, I found a bunch of great deals. I found deals from, like I said, from 10, 15, 20, 25 to even $30. I found great deals on games for around those prices, and honestly, I never doubt flea markets ever again because, you know, flea markets are so underrated. You can always find great deals on retro games or hell, anything. Hell, I found great deals on comic books too, which is pretty freaking cool. So, you know, hopefully maybe this is another like way to inspire you to maybe like go to your local flea market and see what deals you'd like to find on whether games, movies, whatever you tend to collect. And yeah, so so if you enjoyed the video, appreciate a like. Helps a lot, and of course, drop a comment, see what other advices you want when it comes to collecting, and I'll be able to help you out. And yeah, and I'm done.